Isak for, like, would be my only kind of thing is if you sign Isak, then where does Ekitike play? When does he play? What was the point in signing someone like Ekitike in the first place? Do you get what I'm saying? Like, he's not like he's 30 or 29 where you're like, oh yeah, you're just gonna come in, back up, and I mean, we just need it for a couple of seasons. Like, he's 23, isn't it? Do you get what I'm saying? So
yeah,
then not that it's pointless. You don't mind having a player like that, but I don't feel like he's gonna want to come in and just sit on the bench. Like, Isak isn't old. Do you know what I mean? So Isak will be the main guy. So do you want to sit on the bench and know that you're not going to be a main guy here ever, really and truly, to be honest, unless Isak gets like wildly injured and then you just pick up crazy form, and now we're just waiting on too many different factors. So yeah, like the Isak, like that's why I don't know if Ekitike signed, like if he's done, cool.
yeah, he's signed.
But then the Isak stuff,
signed, so he's our player.
Okay, so then
obviously,
the Isak,
he hasn't officially signed, but he's now been given
Okay.
a green light to travel to do his medical.
Then listen, I love Isak. I think Isak is the second best striker in the Premier League. I think he's one of the best strikers in the world. But like, I just don't see why you'd sign Ekitike. Like, it don't make sense to me. I'm like, if you sign Ekitike, then Isak isn't really. You can't really have both. Like, it doesn't, unless you're going to play with two up front, then that's great. But Ekitike wouldn't be the backup player I would be signing, because he's just not going to play enough to keep him happy. I think you're just going to have a Julian Alvarez situation. Haaland's there. Julian Alvarez, in the season before he left to go to Atletico Madrid, he played 50 odd games. Guess what? He still wanted to leave. Why? Because I'm not the main guy. And that's 50 odd games. So forget the game time. You just know you're not the main guy. And how long can you continuously keep not being a main guy, knowing that the other guy in front of you is young, he's excellent? Like, does it really work? That's my only question behind that. Obviously, if we didn't sign Ekitike, bro, go and get fucking Isak. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, go get him. He's the main guy. He can be the Don Dada. You go and get in a backup, an adequate enough backup, you're good to go. No one's moaning. Game time is enough for that backup player. He understands what he's coming into. Then you can kind of move from there. So yeah, I think it's one of those. Like, that's why when we talk about like game time, I'm always like, I think when we come to game time, I think you've got to understand players don't just look at it, oh yeah, so I played 50 games last season, and do you know what I mean? 30 of those were off the bench. Do you know what I mean? And I know that I'm not a main player. I might not want to really necessarily be a part of that, because I'm not really gonna develop as much as I probably should. And then you kind of, you just kind of move from there, kind of thing. So yeah, that's kind of how I look at it now. If obviously Ekitike, as you said, has signed and stuff like that.
What when you say speculation? Oh, then actually, I'll change the layout so you guys bear with me, because I wanna ask Mike this question as well. In terms of the Newcastle wanted to kind of get this done. Newcastle wanted to keep Isak, and they wanted to get Ekitike. And from the reports, it seemed the player wouldn't have mind doing that anyway. So why wouldn't he mind doing that coming to us, which is more of a bigger stage, you'd say, more of a guarantee of winning the bigger trophies? So why, on one hand, he would be okay to go to Newcastle and probably sit on the bench? Why couldn't he not come to Liverpool and do the exact same obviously we're going to get Isak? What do you think, Mike, about that?
Well, I think Newcastle's plan was probably to play a 4-4-2. And Eddie Howe was on the train of make 4-4-2 great again. Maybe that was their idea with the two-striker formation, getting Ekitike, pairing him with Isak, then Isak possibly going to Barcelona next summer. I kind of see what their idea was, that they had a future plan with Ekitike, and then obviously planning for the future with Isak leaving. I'm very intrigued to see what Liverpool do, because if we sign Isak, guys, we are in for showtime. Lakers in the 80s to the 90s, the Bulls in the 90s, the Lakers in the 2000s, the Heat in the 2010s. Liverpool will become showtime if we get Alexander Isak. And I don't really know what the plan would be. Obviously, people are talking about, yes, we need two strikers. But Ekitike has already been a backup at PSG. And how did that go? Terrible. That's why he went on loan to Eintracht Frankfurt. And then he got the permanent to Eintracht Frankfurt. And now he gets to move to Liverpool. So for Ekitike, for his career, and obviously heading into a World Cup year where he wants to go to the World Cup in 2026, is he going to make the World Cup squad for France just by sitting on the bench at Liverpool? No, he's not. He has to consistently have game time, because we know how competitive the France team is at the moment. So yeah, I don't know what's going on with the Isak because to be honest, I only follow Fabrizio and David Ornstein. So if there's anything else going on in this world, I have zero clue about it. And if we do try and sign Isak, then I'm a little bit worried about what do we do with the other forward. Because if we sell Diaz, we sell Chiesa, and we sell Darwin Núñez, we still need another forward. So are we going to still then go for Rodrigo and pay, what, 100 million euros? Hey, and still need a center back? I mean, yes, it's a very ambitious and very historical window for Liverpool, but you're kind of putting yourself in a corner. And what do we have now? 4 weeks until the season starts? August 15th or 17th? So we only got 4 weeks to go, and we're about to go on our tour to Japan. I'm just fascinated to see what we do. Look, I don't think Isak is joining, if I'm going to be honest. I've never gone onto this boat for the entire... As soon as we signed Ekitike, I said, no, it's done. If we do still try and sign because clearly... Nobody has ruled it out. David Ornstein hasn't said anything. Fabrizio haven't said anything that, Isak is just staying at Newcastle. It's a done deal. If we sign him, I mean, that would just be crazy to me. Absolutely crazy. And then rival fans can keep on crying because we're going to spend that money.
Yeah, look, obviously, I've read somewhere that, they said these quotes are not right. As from his agent saying, we're studying and analyzing our options, and we may be close to finalizing the next steps for the player without revealing any details of a transfer or to stay with Newcastle. So take that with a pinch of salt as you may. It could be maybe is he working in his favor, like to get a bad boy deal for Newcastle and then stay there. I'm just looking at the player, man, and it's just like, do you feel you're guaranteed to have success here? And I'm not saying you're not going to. I'm just looking at the other teams in the league and how they're ready to to go again. I'm like, where do you see that team being able to compete with these teams? And if that's the case, your decision's your decision, Isak. But I'm looking from a logical standpoint. I'm like, Liverpool are ready. Arsenal, you'd probably say is ready. Man City, we don't know. Maybe they're ready as well. Chelsea, you probably say they're ready. I don't know. I honestly don't know, bro. I don't know
how much do you think he wants per week, salary-wise? Because I just checked. He's on 150K a week now. So what does he want, 300K a week?
I reckon...
Isak?
Yeah.
He'll be in the twos, I think.
250?
Yeah.
An extra 100 on top? 250, I think.
250.
Especially after, what he did last season.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But even still, right? Like, even if he wants to come, that doesn't really mean anything, though. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's him, even if he does want to move, Liverpool still got to deal with Newcastle. I mean, Liverpool still need to pay the money that Newcastle need to. I don't know what that is, whatever that would be.
Stem tactics and it trying to unsettle man and that, bro.
And this is what I'm saying.
Whether it's true or not,
like,
the way all the journalists are acting like is like they've unsettled him in a couple of days, isn't it? I don't know whether it's true. I did, like I said to end, I did find it funny that someone said he was moping around in the hotel reception because I was like, Bretta, this geezer could have been on his phone.
I saw that too. Oh,
that's where journalists goes too far, bro. He seems to be different this morning, walking around sad. What?
He didn't drink his orange juice like he usually does every morning.
Yeah, I was saying to end because people
put butter on the toast.
Yeah, because they will always say a source said.
Yeah.
These kind of things come from like someone rang up the hotel cleaner and that, bro. So I did leave my phone there also. This guy called Isak there. He looks like this. What's he doing? Like, I don't know. Just walking around looking at the floor. We got it. So he looks sad. Well, I wouldn't say that. But does he look kind of sad? Well, yeah, I guess so. Good sources say Isak's walking around looking sad. That's because it doesn't make any sense, bro. There ain't no paparazzi
journalism nowadays.
There's no pictures of him looking sad. But my view on this, I'm with everyone still. I don't think we're getting Isak, bro. But I'm not against it, of course not. I just don't think we're getting him.
Of course, yeah.
I think for me, the confirmation of Ekitike that confirmed it for me that okay, we're not going to get Isak now because surely we've just got someone who's going to be the main guy. Now, of course, everyone come with the opinion, well, rotation, bench, and that. Of course, I can only go off history of most football clubs and Liverpool, and usually you ain't buying a player of that much money to put him on the bench for another player.
True.
To play this one in League Cup and the FA Cup games? What's the point of that? You know what I mean? And then what everyone's going to say, rotate him in Champions League games. So you think Isak's not going to want to play Champions League games? It doesn't make much sense. Not to mention, you've got 2 confirmed games in the League Cup and FA Cup. If you lose both of them, you're out. So that's them games gone. Now you just got Champions League and Prem, which obviously whoever the main striker is going to want to play. Apart from when we go through, and then you got 2 games against whoever. So if it happens, beautiful. Would have to see the magic of Slot and what he can do with those 2 players because they're both strikers. You know what I mean? Let's not come with these narratives where everyone starts telling me what Ekitike was doing in the under 12s and that, bro. I've only just seen him. I just seen him play up front. You know what I mean? So that's where he plays. I've seen him play up front for France. I've seen him play up front for Frankfurt, bro. So striker. Isak plays up front.
Savage, do you think either player can play on the left wing?
If it's going to be one of them, it'll be probably Ekitike more than.
I was thinking Isak more.
I think Isak can.
Ekitike.
I think Isak can more, but I think like Liverpool would. I don't think Isak's moving to play on the left wing. That's what I mean more than. Yeah. But it's because how do you sell that kind of thing to these players? Isn't it? When you're bringing them through the door for big money and it's the most spoke about thing, the way you sell it to them is you're going to be the future of Liverpool. Salah's on his way out, not in a disrespectful way, his age. So you get to come in, play amongst people like Salah and Virgil. When they're gone, you become the main guy of the team. So with being that main guy, just like Wirtz, that's like when bringing Wirtz in, you pay him in the 10 where he wants to play, and you're going to pay that much money for me. So it's very interesting. It's a good problem to have. I'm just kind of like, Liverpool just seem to put in feelers out there, or the journalists for Liverpool put feelers out there constantly because the transfer window's still open, and it's opportunistic, even though it's big money for something that's opportunistic. It doesn't really go with the definition of what it means. But I guess Isak's next club is going to be his club for life, really, until he's probably going to retire or just move on when he's got a couple of years after his career. So Liverpool maybe just want it to be us, which I'm okay.